Introduction. Why your emotions are losing you money. Have you ever looked at a trade, knew exactly what to do, and still messed it up? You had the setup. You told yourself to wait, but your emotions didn't listen. You jumped in too early. You held on too long. You chased. You panicked. You overtraded. And after it was over, you sat there thinking, why do I keep doing this? You're not alone. In fact, this is what ruins more traders than anything else. Not a bad strategy, not the market, not luck. It's emotions. The truth is, most people don't lose trades because they're dumb. They lose because they're human. This book isn't about teaching you another trading system. You've probably read a dozen of those already. This is about the emotional game, the one happening inside your head every time you enter a trade. If you've ever got into a trade just because you were bored, closed a winner too early out of fear, added to a loser hoping it'll bounce back, or felt sick to your stomach after a big loss, then this book is for you. You'll learn why your emotions take over when money is on the line, what happens in your brain when you're trading, how to take back control and stop self-sabotaging real tools that help you stay calm, clear, and consistent. Trading isn't just technical, it's emotional. And if you don't master the emotional side, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes, no matter how good your strategy is. So, let's change that. Take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's fix the part of trading no one talks about, but everyone struggles with. Before you start, make sure to subscribe our channel to become 1% better every day. Chapter 1. When money feels personal. Why your emotions trade before you do. Let's start with something uncomfortable but honest. Most people don't trade the market, they trade their self-worth. Sounds extreme, right? But think about the last time you lost money on a trade. Not just a technical loss, an emotional one. The kind that made you feel angry, embarrassed, or even ashamed. Now ask yourself, why did it feel so personal? It's not just about the dollars. It's what those dollars mean to you. And that meaning didn't come from a chart. It came from your life. Let's rewind a bit. Long before you opened your first trading app, before you ever looked at a candlestick or support line, you learned something powerful about money, that it defines success, that it defines you. Maybe it started in your childhood. Maybe you heard your parents fighting about money. Maybe you were told things like, "We can't afford that," or "Money doesn't grow on trees." Maybe you saw people with money getting respect, attention, admiration. Slowly, without realizing it, your brain started building an emotional relationship with money, a deep one. So now, when you make or lose money while trading, you're not just gaining or losing cash, you're gaining or losing identity. This is why trading feels so heavy. $100 loss isn't just a loss, it feels like you failed. A $500 win isn't just a win, it feels like you proved yourself. And this emotional weight clouds everything. It's why some people can't stick to their plan, why they overtrade, why they keep chasing after losses, trying to win their confidence back. But here's the truth. No one tells you in most trading books. If your self-worth is tied to your trading results, you'll never trade with clarity. Let's go deeper. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to give good trading advice to someone else, but not follow it yourself? That's not because you're stupid, it's because your emotions are involved in your own trades. You might see a clear setup, wait for the right signal, and then hesitate. Or you might enter, but the moment the trade goes a few dollars against you, panic takes over. You close it, you regret it, you feel weak, and then you swear you'll do better next time. But next time doesn't feel any different, because the problem isn't your strategy, It's your emotional attachment to the outcome. Your brain is built for survival, not trading. When it senses danger, like losing money, it floods you with cortisol, the stress hormone, and shuts down your logical thinking. This happens in milliseconds. You don't even realize it. This is why revenge trading happens. You lose money, and your brain goes into fight mode. You want to get it back. But in reality, you're not trying to win the trade back. You're trying to win your self-esteem back. This is dangerous, because in that state you stop trading based on your plan and start trading based on your pain. So how do we fix this? The first step is awareness. You have to realize that your trading habits are often a mirror of your personal habits. Do you seek validation in life? You'll probably chase wins to feel good. Do you avoid failure or rejection? You might cut your trades too early out of fear. This is what I call emotional residue, the leftover emotions from your life that sneak into your trading. And here's the wild part. You can have the perfect setup, the best risk management, and still lose, not because the trade was bad, but because your emotions hijacked the wheel. So let's talk solutions. The goal isn't to kill your emotions. You're human. You need emotions. The goal is to become aware of them, manage them, and learn to trade with them, not against them. That starts with separating your identity from your results. You are not your P&L. You are not your account balance. You are not a bad trader because of a loss. And you're not a genius because of a win. The market doesn't care who you are. And that's a good thing, because it means you get to let go of the emotional baggage that's been weighing you down. Let me share a story. One of my clients, a full-time trader, came to me after blowing up 3 accounts in 2 years. He knew charts inside and out. He could recite indicators like the alphabet. But every time he got close to consistent profits, he'd sabotage himself. Overtrading, ignoring stop losses, taking dumb risks that made no sense. We talked. Turns. Out growing up, his dad constantly criticized him, told him he'd never be successful. So now every time he traded, he wasn't just trying to make money. He was trying to prove his dad wrong. That's emotional trading. It doesn't show up on your chart, but it shows up in your behavior. And it'll cost you everything if you don't deal with it. So here's the challenge. Start seeing your trading habits as emotional patterns, not just technical mistakes. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling before I enter this trade? Am I trading from confidence or from fear, boredom or pressure? Would I still take this trade if no one ever knew about it? These questions seem simple, but they can change everything. Because the moment you become conscious of your emotions, you stop being controlled by them. There's something powerful about detaching your self-worth from your results. It frees you. It allows you to stick to your plan, not because you're trying to prove something, but because it's the right thing to do. It makes you trade like a professional, not someone chasing wins or avoiding shame. And that's the shift. That's when you move from being a reactive trader to a strategic one. Before we end this chapter, I want you to do one thing today. Write down the top 3 emotions you feel most often while trading. Is it anxiety, excitement, fear, shame, regret? Write them down. Then ask yourself, where else in life do I feel these emotions? Chances are they're connected. And once you start seeing the pattern, you can finally break it. Because the market will never stop testing your emotions. But the trader who understands those emotions, who sees the trap coming, that's the trader who wins. You don't need to be a robot. You just need to stop making trading personal. Let the numbers be numbers. Let the charts be charts. And let you be you. Calm, clear, and in control. You've already lost enough to emotions. Now it's time to take your power back. Let's move. On to the next chapter and start rewiring the part of your brain that's been hijacked by the market. Because this isn't just about trading better, it's about living better too. Chapter 2. The Dopamine Trap. How trading hijacks your brain. Have you ever placed a trade and then felt your heart race while watching every tick on the screen? Have you ever refreshed your app again and again, hoping for a green candle? Have you ever felt a strange rush, even before the trade is done, like your brain is on fire? That feeling isn't just excitement. It's not passion for trading. It's dopamine, and it's hijacking your brain. This chapter isn't about motivation. It's about neurochemistry, what actually happens in your brain every time you trade. And trust me, once you understand this, your trading will never feel the same again. Let's start with a quick truth. Trading is not designed to be boring. In fact, it's designed to be the opposite. Fast, flashy, addictive. The platforms you trade on, they're built more like casinos than financial tools. Think about it. The red and green colors, the real-time updates, the sound alerts, the instant execution. All of it creates an environment that activates your brain's reward system, and the key chemical behind that system is dopamine. Now, here's what most people get wrong about dopamine. Dopamine doesn't just make you feel good after a win. It actually spikes before the outcome, in anticipation. So when you enter a trade, your brain is already lighting up with dopamine before anything even happens. It's the what-if rush. What if this trade makes me rich? What if I double my money? What if this is the one? That anticipation creates a loop. And the more you feed it, by opening trades, refreshing charts, watching prices move, the more your brain starts to crave that feeling. It's not about the trade anymore. It's about the rush. This is why so many traders, especially beginners, fall into overtrading. They're not trading based on logic. They're chasing that next dopamine hit. It's no different from a gambler pulling the lever on a slot machine. They might lose money 9 times in a row, but on the 10th try, they win. And that one win releases so much dopamine, it reinforces the behavior. The brain goes, "Ah, this felt good. Let's do that again." Even if the net result is a huge loss. Here's something wild. Studies have shown that uncertain rewards, like a trade that might win or lose, cause more dopamine release than guaranteed rewards. So the uncertainty in trading isn't just tolerated by your brain, it's actually preferred. That's what makes it so dangerous. Your brain becomes addicted to the thrill of uncertainty, even when it's financially destroying you. Now, let's add another layer. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It spikes when you feel threatened, like when your trade is going against you. When you're down 20%, your heart pounds. Your hands get sweaty, your thinking becomes cloudy. And in that moment, your brain isn't thinking, "What's the smart thing to do here?" It's thinking, "How do I get out of this pain right now?" That's when traders panic sell. They close too early. Or worse, they add to the losing trade, hoping for a bounce, just to feel a little relief. The mix of dopamine and cortisol is lethal in trading. One pulls you in with hope. The other pushes you to react with fear. And both are happening under the surface, without your permission. You think you're being logical, but you're really being chemical. Now here's the twist. Trading isn't the only thing doing this to your brain. Social media does it too. Think about how often you scroll through trading forums, Reddit, YouTube, Twitter. You see people posting huge wins. Just made 2K in 5 minutes. Your brain lights up. You feel inspired, or worse, behind. That's another dopamine trap, FOMO. Fear of missing out triggers both dopamine, anticipation, and cortisol, anxiety. And what do most traders do with that combo? They jump into bad trades just to feel like they're doing something. It's not strategy, it's chemical impulse. So how do you break out of this trap? The first step is to realize that trading platforms, and even your own brain, are not designed for long-term success. They're designed for short-term pleasure. But real trading success comes from the opposite: long-term thinking, patience, discipline. That means learning to sit through the boredom, to skip trades when nothing's there, to feel the rush and still not act on it. It's like rewiring your brain to stop craving stimulation and start craving clarity. Let's talk about a client of mine. Let's call him Jake. Jake was a full-time trader who couldn't stop overtrading. He told me, "Every time I open my charts, I feel like I have to do something. If I don't trade, I feel guilty. Like I wasted the day." We looked deeper, and guess what? Jake wasn't trading for money. He was trading for stimulation. He was bored in his life. He had no hobbies. He worked alone. So trading became his emotional outlet. The win gave him a high. The loss gave him pain. But either way, it made him feel something. Once he realized, we set rules. He had to pre-plan every trade the night before. No impulsive trades, no midday decisions, and he had to step away from the screen after each trade, no matter the result. It was hard. His brain craved the action. But after 30 days, he was a different trader. Calmer, more focused, less emotional, and most importantly, more profitable. Your brain can be retrained, but it takes awareness and repetition. You need to notice when dopamine is talking. The rush before the trade, the excitement when prices move, the fear when it goes red, the craving to do something. In those moments, just pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself, this is chemistry, not reality. Because most bad trades don't come from bad analysis. They come from a chemical storm in your head. There's also a lifestyle piece here. If your life is full of chaos, your trading will be too. If you're always seeking stimulation in other areas, fast food, endless scrolling, constant noise, then your brain becomes addicted to fast. But trading is about slow mastery. So build a life that matches that. Sleep well. Take walks without your phone. Do deep work. Practice delayed gratification. The more calm your life becomes, the easier it is to calm your trading. Let's not pretend. This is easy. You're up against powerful brain chemistry, big tech algorithms, and your own emotional history. But here's the good news. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're just human. Your brain is doing exactly what it was wired to do: seek pleasure and avoid pain. But now that you know how the system works, you can start to take back control. You can start building dopamine discipline. That means finding joy in making the right decision, even if it's boring. Feeling proud of not taking a bad trade. Celebrating calmness, not chaos. Before we wrap up this chapter, I want to give you a simple challenge. The next time you feel the urge to trade, pause for 60 seconds, just sit there. Notice your thoughts. Ask, is this logic or is this dopamine talking? You'll be surprised how often you catch yourself being chemically impulsive. And with that awareness, you'll start building the most powerful trading skill of all: self-control. The dopamine trap is real. It's why so many smart people lose in the market. Not because they don't know what to do, but because they can't stop themselves from doing the opposite. But now you have the map. You understand what's happening inside your head. And you know how to step out of the trap. This chapter wasn't just about brain science. It was about freedom. Freedom from addiction to thrill. Freedom from compulsive behavior. Freedom from needing to feel something every time you open your app. Because real success in trading, and in life, isn't about chasing the next rush. It's about building a mind that stays clear, calm, and confident. No matter what the market does, let's keep building that mind in the next chapter. You're doing great. Chapter 3. Trade like a robot. Mastering your mind. Without losing your soul, let's be honest for a moment. How many times have you heard this phrase in the trading world? Detach your emotions. Trade like a robot. It sounds good, even smart, but it's not human. Because the truth is, you can't just shut off your emotions like flipping a switch. You're not a robot. You're not built that way. You have a brain that's constantly scanning for threats, a heart that speeds up when you're excited, a gut that reacts when something feels wrong. So trying to trade without emotion is like trying to drive a car without fuel. Instead, the goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to lead them. This chapter is about learning how to recognize, manage, and use your emotions in a way that makes you a better trader, not a wrecked one. And when you master this, something powerful happens. You become a calm force in a chaotic market. Let's start with this. Emotions aren't your enemy. They're data. That rush of fear. It might be a sign you're overexposed. That spark of excitement. It might mean you're placing a trade for the wrong reasons. The key is to listen, not obey. Feel your feelings, but don't let them drive the trade. In fact, the best traders in the world are incredibly in tune with their emotional state. They don't ignore it. They monitor it like a dashboard. Because they know that the wrong emotion at the wrong time is more dangerous than a bad setup. One of the simplest ways to regulate your emotions is to start your trading day with a mentals check-in. Ask yourself, am I calm or agitated? Am I trading from focus or from FOMO? Did I sleep well? Eat well? Is there anything in my personal life weighing on me right now? These questions may seem soft or unnecessary, but they're not. They are your early warning system. Because if you go into the market carrying frustration from a fight with your partner, or fear from a losing streak, or excitement from a recent win, you're already compromised. Your mind is not clear. Your judgment is not stable. But if you acknowledge those emotional states up front, they lose their power over you. Let me tell you about a trader named Luis. Luis was sharp. He knew the charts, knew the strategies, but he kept blowing up his account over and over. When we dug into his trading journal, a pattern showed up. Every time he had a fight with his girlfriend, he'd take a massive trade. Not because it made sense, but because he wanted to win something that day. He wanted to feel in control again. And if that trade lost, it would spiral. 2, 3, 4. Revenge trades would follow. But when Luis finally started checking in with himself emotionally, before trading, everything changed. He'd pause and say, "Wait, I'm feeling insecure today. That's not a good state to risk capital in." And on those days, he'd walk away. No trade, no loss, no damage. That one small act of emotional awareness saved him thousands. Now let's talk about another tool. The pre-trade emotional checklist. This isn't a list of setups or indicators. It's a list of emotional conditions you want to meet before clicking buy. Things like, am I feeling grounded? Is my mind clear? Am I trading the plan or chasing a feeling? Have I accepted the risk? If you answer no to any of those, don't trade. Step back, breathe, reset. Because a trade made in the wrong, emotional state is a coin flip at best and a slow disaster at worst. But what happens when you're already in a trade and emotions hit hard? Maybe the price is moving fast. Maybe you're deep in red. Maybe you're up big and afraid to lose it. That's where reset tactics come in. Elite traders don't try to tough it out. They have systems to cool their brain. One method is the 1-minute rule. When emotions spike, pause for 1 full minute. Close your eyes, breathe deep, get out of the market brain and into your body. You'll be shocked how different things look after 60 seconds. Another method is called Name It to Tame It. If you feel fear, say it out loud or write it down. Okay, I'm feeling scared because I don't want to lose this unrealized profit. Naming the emotion creates distance. It stops the emotion from running the show. And here's a powerful idea most traders ignore: journaling. Not just logging trades, but journaling emotions. Every day after you trade, ask yourself, what was I feeling before and during the trade? Did I act from logic or emotion? What emotion cost me money today? What emotion helped me win? Over time, patterns will emerge. You'll notice that greed tends to hit after a win. Fear spikes after a drawdown. And frustration leads to impulse. You'll begin to see your own emotional fingerprint, and once you see it, you can start to manage it. That's how elite traders operate. They don't just track price, they track themselves. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: robots. Yes, algorithmic trading systems exist. Yes, they trade with no emotion. Yes, they often outperform retail traders. But here's what people forget: the best traders trade like robots, but feel like humans. They've built systems to remove impulse and guesswork, but they also stay emotionally intelligent, self-aware, and humble. They don't suppress their emotions. They lead them. They don't ignore fear. They prepare for it. They don't act on greed. They acknowledge it and wait for a clean setup. You can do the same. I want to share a story about a woman named Natalie. Natalie was a prop firm trader in Chicago. She once told me, "I know when I'm getting greedy because I start talking faster, even if no one's around." That's powerful self-awareness. She built a simple rule. If she caught herself speeding up her speech or thoughts, she would pause and review her risks. She said, "My body knows I'm off-center before my brain does." And because of that awareness, she dodged more than one massive loss. That's what emotional mastery looks like. Not perfection, not cold, robotic behavior, but deep internal leadership. So what does it actually look like to trade like a robot and feel like a human? It looks like building rules and following them no matter how you feel. It looks like planning your trade ahead of time, so you're not making decisions in the heat of the moment. It looks like walking away from the desk when your brain is fried instead of forcing a trade to feel productive. It looks like choosing clarity over excitement, stillness over stimulation, patience over performance. And let's be clear, this isn't just about trading. This is about life. The discipline you build by leading your emotions in trading will spill into every area. You'll start responding instead of reacting. You'll start listening to your emotional cues. In relationships, work, health. You'll become more grounded, more stable, more confident. Because once you realize you are not your emotions, you're the leader of them, everything changes. Before we wrap this chapter, I want to leave you with one core idea. Emotional trading isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign you're human. But emotional mastery, that's rare. That's powerful. And that's what separates the amateurs from the elite. So don't fight your emotions. Learn from them. Work with them. Lead them. Build systems that protect you from your own highs and lows. Build habits that anchor you in calmness. And most of all, remember this: the best traders don't have less emotion. They have more control. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to build a recovery system for your worst trading days. Because what you do after a mistake matters even more than the mistake itself. You're on the path now. Let's keep going.